Shannon, record score at Chatswood Oval. What were your thoughts about how we performed?
Yeah, I was really pleased with how we performed. We didn't take them lightly at all coming in. We were very, very conscious of the local derby and of the emotion that was going to be at Chatswood Oval. So, we prepared really well, and I think that was seen in our performance. We spoke last night at the review around the game, and the performance did reflect a little bit of our opposition, as much as it did reflect our ability. But what I was really pleased with was the fact that we stuck to the way we wanted to play. The game was opening up fairly early. The half-time lead was really comfortable, but the game controllers really stuck to what we wanted to do. And in many ways, that made that second half for us a valuable element to the season, and not just a little bit of a run around.
First 15, 20 odd minutes, 14 all. It was a bit of a game on. They took it to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, they started really well. And it was a good physical encounter, and they pressured us early and pulled some penalties out of us post restart, and it became a bit of a, our turn, your turn, our turn, sort of a scoring scenario, and we needed to break that cycle, and we dug in there after the second score, and we looked to put a little bit more pressure and tighten up what we did there. We were a little bit loose in that area, and then we had the ability to invert that pressure and get ourselves a double score, and then obviously then we started to get that little bit of momentum and ascendancy, and probably took a bit of confidence out of getting those, getting that little gap away from them midway through the first half.
50 first grade games for Ezra Luxton, continues to contribute, doesn't he?
Yeah, look, he played really well. He's off the back of a couple of performances that are a little bit underneath his capacity, but he performed really well on the weekend. I was really pleased for him. That's a great milestone. In Ez, he's only played one grade since being at the club, which is another impressive component to his 50 games. Hasn't played second grade, hasn't played third grade. He's been 50 for the club and 50 first grade. So he's improving, and he knows in himself that he's got a lot more to give the club going forward.
A handful of tries to Angelo Laupepi. Must have been pleased with that effort.
Yeah, he's starting to ooze with confidence. He's a bit of a slow start to the year, and he's finding his feet there now on the wing, and he's starting to really work out what his strengths are in this competition. And we saw on the weekend that he was very strong in his carries, and he owned that possession until until he got it over the line, or until he couldn't find any more metres. So we're really pleased for Angelo in that game.
Gordon, there are solutions there, aren't there? It's not time to. It's not good night nurse for them. It's a cyclical thing in many cases, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I mean, from the outside in, it's a little, I don't want to be making any judgment calls or any real, knowledgeable solutions. They're obviously a club that's struggling a little bit at the moment, and they've had some changes to their leadership, both on the field, in the boardroom and within their coaching ranks. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but look, they're obviously a very proud club with a really rich history. So they're a club that they're going to want to find form again and going to want to find success, and I have no doubt they'll do that in the coming years.
Off to Foreshore this weekend, Southern Districts. Probably not playing to their capacity, not getting the results that they thought they would pre-season. A tough game, though.
Oh, absolutely, a tough game, and down there's a really tough field to play at. We've seen in their performances this year, it's almost two different teams, the away team and the home team. So we're going into their territory, and we've seen in their performances they've had their better games playing at home. So we can't take them lightly in any way, shape. They're a strong side. They're a good set piece side. They play very direct, and they're quite brutal in their D line. So we've got to find some little cracks in there, and try to expose those early and get some momentum in that first half if we can.
You spoke of those things you're looking to do. What are some other things that you'll need to do to beat Southern Districts down there?
Yeah, look, set pieces is the first thing. They're a very proud set piece club, and we need to make sure that we are, parity at worst, and that we're looking to dominate that area of the game. I think that'll set us up and provide us with a lot of a really strong platform to be able to play the way we want to play. It's an old cliche, you win your set piece, you obviously get some good source possession, but I think it rings pretty true this weekend against a club that's renowned for their set piece.
What's your take on the Shute Shield overall? Norths and Uni a few points out, a win and a bit, and then right up our back is West Harbour and I think Eastwood after that, aren't they?
Yeah. Look, I think it's we got off to a good start, and so did Uni, which is great. And those early wins, they're really important. That we've sort of pushed ourselves to a little bit of a gap between the field, but the field below that, they're tussling for positions, and I think the inconsistency along some of those results and some of those club games, they'll line themselves out a little bit, and I think you'll start to see a good core group of those starting to get pretty consistent and pushing for the top. So, it's going to come down to round sort of 17, round 18, I believe, to decide that top 6.
Some of your injured troops, Lockie Cray came back on the weekend. Richie Wolf not quite ready for last weekend. What's the prognosis for both of those guys?
Yeah, look, he got through some good minutes. He was allowed 40 this week, and he got those out pretty well. Got a couple of tries in that first 40, so he played really well when he for that first half. Wolfie's still returning to play at the moment. He's getting through his run levels. He'll be touch and go this week, but we'll see how he gets through training on Tuesday, Thursday before we make a call on him. We've got some fine, Lockie back now, and obviously Angelo's playing some really good football as well. So we'll make sure that, being a soft tissue injury, that we don't rush it, and we get that right before we risk it.
Miller was there on Saturday. Did very well. George, younger brother of Will.
Yeah, he backed up his debut performance with another cracker. Just a lot of energy, a lot of smart lines, some really good decisions at the collision. So he's coming along very, very well. He's putting a lot of pressure on I guess the more senior guys in the back row positions. Really pleased with how he's going.
All right, Shannon. Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks very much.